All right. Today I'm going to talk about, my name is Dr. Cheryl Meyer, and I'm a psychologist in my day job. But today we're going to talk about when we feel rejected by divine love, by God. Or also how you feel just rejected in general, how to get over that. Because sometimes we just had experiences in childhood where hold on, I'm going to put this over this, where we experience that over and over again, right? And so we think that, if we go to divine love, to God with an honest prayer, that we're just going to be rejected, or he's just not going to hear it because God is beyond he and she. But because why are we praying to this God that let us experience the childhood that we experienced, that let us experience the unconscious parents, the pushing away, the you're not enough, the go prove yourself to me and come back when you are worthy, This morning I meditated on this verse. Let me find my journal. And I was just noticing this for us, It says, it was a psalm. And so the psalms are like, if you ever want to read someone honestly crying out, God said that David was a man after his own heart. David was a king. And he also killed Goliath, the giant. You don't have to believe any of this stuff. I welcome all people, whatever spiritual path you're on. Just learn if you'd like to, and test whatever I'm saying. Take it back to God. Understand what is true and let go of the rest, right? It said, "Oh, let me hear thy loving kindness, your mercy, of your faithful love. Let me hear of that true love in the morning. For in thee is my trust. Show thou me the way that I ought to walk in, for I lift up my soul unto thee." And I was just contemplating on that for an hour this morning. I just sat with it and, sometimes went out and went back in. But it's just like, this person is like begging, please let me hear of your loving kindness in the morning. Help me understand your love for me. In thee I confide. Make known your way unto which I ought to walk in. Like, show me the way I ought to walk in. I loved this version. This is the contemporary English version. It's leaving a little bit out, but let's look at it nevertheless. Each morning, let me learn more about your love. Because I trust you, I come to you in prayer, asking for your guidance. And so I was just thinking, if God is love, and God is love, we may not know divine love as that. We may think that God is withholding and torturous and whatever. But if God actually is love, and we can grow in faith by trusting that a little bit at a time, and God will help us in that. Then what's the nature of love? Love always wants us to know more of love, to experience more of love. And of course, we want a God that's just keep us high all the time. Just tell me, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. But it's like, how can we be living our life and experience the ups and downs that happen in this duality of experience that we have here, where there is light and darkness? How can we keep trusting in God in the darkness, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. That's another psalm. That's Psalm 23. It's like the rod and the staff, this really helped me when I read this book about this psalm a long time ago. He was a shepherd, a guy that wrote it, and David was a shepherd, the guy that wrote the poem, but a guy was a shepherd who wrote this book. And it was a small book, but whatever all was in it, this part stood out to me, and I'll give it to you. I'm glad to, because it's like, I don't know which one, but one, let's say the staff is the one that has the hook on it. And so every time you're about to fall off the cliff again, of your own life, because we like sheep are gone astray. We've gone to our own way. We haven't gone the way of the soul. We've gone the way of our mind. We've gone the way of quick fixes. We've gone the way of addictions. We've gone the way of, oh, this person looks right for me. Nope, that's just a repetition of my toxic childhood, And so when we're about to go off the cliff, if you choose to keep trusting in God and inviting God to be your shepherd, because God doesn't impose himself, herself. God is like mother and father, the oneness up here from which we came. God doesn't impose himself or herself upon us. If we ask, be my shepherd, and start understanding God as our shepherd, then this hook keeps us when we're about to fall off the cliff. It pulls us back and pulls us back close. And the rod is there to beat off the wolves. So I'm like, yeah, get my back. I had this video from Latoya Okia the other day, which she put on her channel, and it was like, God is my peace and my peace. Like, I don't go anywhere without God. She's like, you got to bring God wherever you go, because God is the one that gives you the peace that you are worth having, that he made you to have. And also your peace, like, protects you. It's just, he's saying the same thing. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. This thing that beats off the wolves that keep coming for my back, that keep coming from within me, that keep coming from my past, that keep coming from my programming, that keep coming from the left and from the right and from every direction, attacking my health or attacking my kids or attacking whatever. Like, it's to keep trusting that there's something higher. You have something higher. Your soul is calling you to something higher. You have gifts inside of you that you're meant to activate. You're not meant to just sit here passively and let your life pass you by and spend all your daily energy dissipating it out, running after quick highs that keep you numb because you're afraid to know real love inside. You're afraid that the love won't be there, so you just keep numbing yourself. You're afraid that your true abilities and gifts and powers won't be there because people told you you were no good. That's a lie. That is a lie. God don't make no junk. That's a line from one of Elliot's songs. Elliot was a friend of mine, this guy named Elliot Smith. And he was quoting other people. And he also said after that, but it's plain to see he still made me. I told you so. I'm ready to go, And he had another line in one of his songs, I kept seeing the word Neverland and Peter Pan and the guy that doesn't want to grow up and all this stuff, and it's like, Elliot's saying, you once spoke to me about love. And I know I spoke to him many times about love. We talked about it often. You painted pictures of this never land. And I could have gone to that place, but I didn't understand. My challenge for you is to start to understand. Don't hide behind that victim identity. Don't hide behind, oh, I didn't understand. That's my excuse why I never rose up. It's time to rise up. Rise up. I'm sick of just talking around this. And sometimes it's important for me to teach in quiet and loving ways and gentle and encouraging ways. Sometimes it's important for me to rebuke, to call this out, to just say, hey, get up, rise up, stop looking at things with your mind and use your soul eyes. You have a soul. You are a soul. You're in a body. Your mind gives you just illusions and old programs from childhood. You can use your mind for good, but your mind is not meant to lead you. You have an inner knowing. Check with your inner knowing. Check if what I'm saying is true. You were always worth loving. You're worth loving. you can ask God honestly, like this psalm each morning. Let me know more about your love, because I trust you. I'm learning to trust you. I choose to let go of the lies that I was following. I choose to let go of the ways I was numbing myself and keeping myself drugged out. I just had a kid that had a major surgery that I didn't know he would live from. And I told him, because he's a teenager, he's young still, I told him, look, they're pumping your body full of morphine right now, and they think you need it because of the pain, but it's making you nauseous. It's shutting down different areas of your body, and you're groggy and drugged out. How do you think you're going to get better if you don't choose to let go of this? It's my job as his mom to tell him. I'm not your mom, but I'm telling you what I shared with my son. And he made a choice, and he said, I don't want that anymore. I just want the Tylenol or whatever. And he was out of the hospital 3 days after that surgery. And our neurosurgeon said, well, there, I just told you it was on his brain, that someone else that had a similar kind of surgery was in there for 8 months, right? And I'm not saying it wasn't the exact same circumstances, but all I'm saying is that you need to know. You are worth knowing what you're doing, what's going on. We are deceived in this world. People just, they say, give them bread and circus. Just give them enough bread to keep them numb and keep them entertained. And you're running after one relationship after another. You can't even call them relationships. I'm just saying you're worth more. If you're not doing that, then good for you. Keep waking up. Ask God to keep waking you up to more love. I have this old poem from the 1400s that St. Ignatius wrote, or it was in his book. It's called The Soul of Christ, Anima Christi, right? And it says, soul of Christ, sanctify me. Body of Christ, save me. Blood of Christ, inebriate me. Water from the side of Christ, wash me. Passion of Christ, strengthen me. O good Jesus, hear me. Within thy wounds, hide me. Suffer me not to be separated from thee. From the malignant enemy, defend me. In the hour of my death, call me and bid me come to thee, that with thy saints and with thy angels I may praise thee forever and ever. Amen. And this guy named David Fleming wrote a different version of this, but I won't take his, but I'll quote the one line, He says, let me not run from the love which you offer, but hold me safe from the forces of evil. And so I pray this for you. I pray this for you. God, help me not run from the love which you truly offer, to go to all these fake things that promise me the world and leave me with nothing, that act like they're going to love me, then walk away, that don't even know, they haven't even tapped into their capacity to love me. It's like a repetition of childhood, of these people that aren't in high consciousness. Follow the path of virtue. Follow the path of love. I have over 600 videos on YouTube teaching about this. Some are hour-long videos teaching you, equipping you, so you can know these things, so you don't have any excuse anymore. I'm seeing this in my wallet right now. This is a drawing I drew of Van Gogh. It's called At Eternity's Gate. You have a knowledge of the eternal within yourself. All of us do, because we all came from God. So it's in you. All of these ways to wake up are in you. All of these gifts that God put in you are in you, and they're meant to be activated and served to the world. I encourage you, just stop wasting your life, your time on dissipation. I'm saying this to myself as I'm saying it to you, to wake up, to learn how to be courageous, to learn how to be confident, to practice those things. We're not going to be good at it at first. None of us are. It's awkward. And so we run to it and go back to something that numbs us. Stop running from it and just be awkward. Watch all my awkwardness, all the ridiculousness of what happens in my videos, as I have learned to speak to you guys in different ways, and to speak it to myself, to wake up my own self. I wish you so much love. Thanks for being here. Share, comment, follow. For the love of God, comment something about something that's changing in your life. Much love.